talk to you.
Okay.
Boom. There go Francis.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. I'm still waiting on you to tell me where I lied.
She just come.
Okay. So I've thought about this. Okay. I would say is Henry, what did you say you were an investigator prior
for investigator for 100%. Yes.
Okay. How every time someone says the literal words, I didn't do it, are they always 100% telling the truth?
Of course not, man. Of course not.
So I want to preface with that. I'm not because when I've seen people arguing with you and in the comments and all that, and there'll be a lot of times they're like, well, I didn't say that. And I'll agree with you. If we look at the one dimensional, like the document of words, what was said, no, you did not. The inflection of the voice, the sort of like intention. There's a video of you saying something along the lines about how Austin was with fans at a bar. And then you go, yeah, because he does that. He drinks. And it's like, that implies that he has a problem.
No.
But the way you said it,
no.
The way you said it sounded like he has an alcohol issue.
Drinks.
Like
I drink. That you're making what I'm saying. You're just putting your feelings in it, and you're inferring like, oh, she's talking about him drinking. But
okay,
I say something like, oh, he's at a bar drinking. He drinks. I'm putting you into the story that because he drinks, he talks.
Sure.
Right. Because when someone's intoxicated or in a happy, like alcohol lowers your like, you feel more secure. You feel like you can say whatever you want because it gives you that liquid courage. Then you start talking. And when I mentioned that story, it was because I have proof of someone during Paramorphicon 2022, how someone in the industry sent Jason an email about how Austin was at a bar with fans talking about Jason. So when I say, oh, he drinks, it's not, you're taking it into offense because you're automatically thinking, well, she has something against Austin, so she's making fun of him drinking.
No, I don't think you're making fun of him. It's just the way in the moment, maybe it is, I can understand if it's misinterpreted, but there was a weird pause and kind of an emphasis on, he drinks, and to me, it definitely, there's people that I think it would affect them and they think, oh, he must have an issue because it seems like she really emphasized the drinking problem.
That's not a lie.
I'm not saying, okay, so what I mean is that you didn't say he's an alcoholic.
But I wasn't inferring that he's an alcoholic. I don't know him.
But it can be interpreted as, now maybe that wasn't your intention.
What you interpret is not what I'm saying.
Okay, well, that might be right.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean it's a lie. He drinks. People see him at a bar. People know he drinks. People think Walter drinks.
Let me interject for a minute, guys. So there has been plenty of people behind the scenes who's like, yo, I saw Austin at a bar and he was saying A, B, C, D. He offered to buy me drinks. I think don't quote me, Austin. I know your ass is watching the goddamn live stream. Your drink of choice is Jack and Coke. This is what they were saying. He wanted to buy a round and the guy was like, you're not about to buy me around with that PPP money. And he said no and walked away. But so I think what's happening is, and this, I'm on outside looking in, Francis is giving context that, hey, this story took place at a bar where Austin was drinking. And Casey is like, yo, you trying to make him out to be alcoholic. I don't think she's trying to make him out to be alcoholic, but I know he drinks. I ain't gonna say at every weekend, but I know he was drinking at Ranger Stop in Atlanta.
And to be honest, me saying he drinks is actually giving him grace. Like, he drinks, some people do stupid stuff when they drink, right? I'm sorry. So that's that. So it still doesn't answer a lie. That's not a lie. He drinks. So I'm just waiting for you because you did say, you said it here now. Well, I'm going to change the description to say Francis on your channel.
Yes.
So let me go back to a few points on your video. You mentioned the whole free event, right? You're totally wrong on the free event. 100%.
Okay. Well, Francis, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'll just say my piece and then you could.
Yeah, go ahead.
My Mom Life was filmed in 2013.
Released
the whole entire thing was released in.
Okay.
Imagine the last episodes, if you go down, the last episodes of My Morphin Life season 1 were the 20th anniversary, which was filmed in 2013.
Yes.
The first video was released January 2014. So the whole first season was already filmed in 2013. One of the episodes, which is, I guess, second or third episode was in Lexington Comic Con that I actually was there with Jason. And it's has a whole bunch of Rangers already there. Then there's a few other episodes that all the Rangers go to his house. You know, like it was already filmed. This was something that Jason filmed with his own money for him. The free event, which I think everyone is like, oh, it's a little you say it's facetious or lie, that the people don't understand what the free event is, right? It was never an event that Jason was gonna make. That was never the case. What was supposed to be the free event, and maybe after I say this, you'll be like, okay, it was supposed to be, they were supposed to pick a show like New York Comic Con, Lexington, even PMC. And he said, let's all go to a convention and do a free autograph signing, a free event. That doesn't mean that the event was going to be free, that people are not going to buy the tickets. It was basically, we're going to take a con, we're all going to show up to that con, and we're going to do free autographs. One free autograph for a person, whatever it was. What was going to happen with that? The lines were going to be super long. The lines were going to be out the door. You say free, the people are going to be out the door. People still had to pay to get into the event, obviously. The promoter still was going to pay for flights and hotel, because what promoter would not want to be the first show to have the original Power Rangers all together, right? So what were they going to invest? Their time. They were going to invest their time. And what was going to be the outcome? Promoters were going to talk about how they sold out a show, how their lines were out the door. And what was that going to do? That was going to open the doors to more conventions for all of them. What was that going to equal? More money, more publicity. They were going to be set for life, only by investing in themselves one show. And They all denied it. It wasn't about him. He was already established. Him, Johnny Young, Bosch were already doing very well at cons. It wasn't about him. It was about, let's set this in motion, give this free event to make it bigger for everyone. Everyone. Austin, Walter, and even Karen Ashley, who was not the original, but being passed. He said, oh, well, Tui's passed, we can bring in Karen because there's no other Mighty Morphin Yellow. And no one sees that, because everyone's thinking, well, oh, they have bills, they have family. But Jason's mind was thinking of in the future, not the right now, the future, that it was going to literally set in motion, like they were going to be set for life in cons, because every con was going to bring them all together until Power Rangers died, which was now.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I understand completely, the idea behind, like, if you invest, in that, I completely get that 100%. That's not really like the issue of like why Jason wanted to do it. It's that it's kind of implied that they all didn't do it because they're so greedy and they just wanted money. But that's kind of the implication.
Because that's what they didn't want to do, it for free signing.
Right.
They wanted to charge.
But that's okay.
And it's totally okay. That never came out of my mouth like it wasn't okay. But in the long run, it backfired on them, because then a lot of them signed up with Zach McGinnis. Zach will group all of them together, but they didn't have Amy Jo. They didn't have JDF. They didn't have the bigger two, let's be honest. And it backfired to the point that Austin went from, when he first came out, he was asking for $50,000 guarantees, to now I'm hearing $3,000, $2,000 guarantees. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Holy shit.
So like, imagine if they would have done that. I'm telling you 100%, because it worked for Jason. It worked for him. He started by himself. He started paying his way for Wizard World. He would pay at the beginning. He would pay for what happened?
Keep going. I do want to hear from Casey though, but keep going.
He would pay for my flights and my hotels in the beginning. Until then, the con saw, hey, Jason has really long lines. They gave him a contract. They would give him first class. They would give us both first class. They would give us both, pay for both the hotels. I just think no one saw the bigger picture. Sorry, you could go now.
No, I thought, at least I tried to show that I completely understand the reasoning behind it. Business side of it makes complete sense. I do understand. I mean, it's the same way, like when I worked in a concert venue, we had bands that would do, they would want a guarantee, or they would just say, give us, 50% of the tickets at the door. And if it's a band that they sell out every time, they would get more money if they did the door deal. but they knew they were going to get it, so that's kind of the side of it, is that I understand both sides of why each party wanted to do what they did. And so the thing is, it just made it kind of seem like they're doing something that is not common or is not okay to do in business, but it's common. Like, people do it all the time.
No, of course.
It's understandable. And I'm not saying that they were smarter than Jason. Not saying that at all. I'm just saying that it just, when it's like the story is like, hey, look, these guys didn't, look how dumb they were for not doing it. Not saying you didn't call them dumb, but if it's implied like, okay, you call them somebody called them dumb. Okay. But if the implication is like, they weren't smart about this and they should have done it. It's more of a opinion and kind of the business side of it. And it's also kind of lifestyle wise. I know people who, could be gigging every single weekend if they wanted to, 3 shows a weekend, and it burns them out so bad they don't want to do it. So I understand also that some of them, it's like they might be completely content with getting their, $5,000 guarantee, working the show, who cares how many people show up, and then going home, and maybe they won't get asked to as many cons. But they might just be content with that,
No, yeah, but like, even with the guarantees, you said, well, taking guarantee, if they didn't take guarantees, conventions wouldn't promote them. That's another thing that I say you're 100% wrong, right? Guarantees the promoter is still going to invest on your flight, on your hotel, on if you have a handler, they're still going to invest, right? What the whole guarantee thing is, if you, let's say, we're here and we're pulling $1 million views on YouTube, right?
Nice.
If I go and I be like to a promoter, hey, I want a $3,000 guarantee, knowing damn well that I'm going to make more than $3,000 because I have this huge fan base. Why would you put doubt in the promoter's head saying, wait, if he's asking me $3,000 guarantee, he's not going to make that money? I don't want him at my show, because he's obviously not going to be worth the investment that I'm going to make of paying the flights and the hotels. That's why when that whole clip with Walter, Jason's telling Walter, don't ask for stupid guarantees, $1,000, $2,000 guarantees, when you know you're going to make that money.
Okay.
It makes it look, okay.
Casey, did you see the Challenging My Manhood video where Jason David Frank was explaining to Walter how to get booked at cons?
I've heard you guys. I didn't see the actual video, but I've heard you guys talk about it, and I completely listen. I'm not saying you're wrong that that's not a good method of business. That's not. I'm not saying that at all. I think it is a good method of business to do that, to invest the money. I think some people maybe can't really afford it the same way that Jason probably could at the time, but. Again, it just really comes down to like,
get your money up, not your
we're comfortable with. And I will say, I live in an area that is not like, there's been in the last, 10 years, there's maybe been 3 Power Rangers come to a convention in my area. And one of the ones I went to, which I don't want to cause any bad blood between the people, but the only reason I knew he was coming is because my brother was at a comic book store and they had a poster of him. And he said, is that guy coming to like here? And they're like, yeah. When? And they go, I don't know. Well, I'll have to check the calendar.
Well, that's poor management.
No, but that's what I mean, is that there are people, and to be honest, so I went and there was a line of people that, it was like a dozen people. And I felt so bad because I knew the person had flown out there. I knew they had spent some money to come out there. I don't know whether or not I assume they didn't have a guarantee, because I would think if the people paid them something, they would like want to make it worth it. But I just know for them, it's like, I know they didn't make nearly as much as they really could have. And so I'm not saying you're like, I think people don't do that.
She's getting hung up on the fact you said she lied. That's it.
That I lied, right? And then
that's it.
What I'm saying is, like, for Walter, right? What happened for him demanding a guarantee? His own show from his hometown would not book him.
Right.
And then he automatically assumed he was blocked by Jason, but Jason's like, I haven't blocked you. I even showed.
He did block him, and I have the clip right. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I did.
I was like, oh shit.
I'm joking.
I showed the text where Jason was like telling the Detroit person to bring Walter in. But if you ask, there are a lot of conventions that if you're basically saying, hey, I can't make $2,000 because if you're requesting a low guarantee, it's because you're saying, well, if I don't make at least $2,000, I don't want to go to your show. So how does it look like you asking for such a low guarantee, it backfires both ways, right? A very low guarantee, like you're basically making it seem like you're not going to make that money. If you ask for too high guarantee, if you don't make it, the convention is going to have to pay you that money, right?
Right.
So that's why Jason didn't like guarantees, and it was very, very like iffy about it. But I'm still waiting for you to tell me where I lied.
Well, here's one thing I want to bring up. Okay, is that in my video you commented on it?
I did.
And thank you for commenting.
Always.
We're all friends.
I loved your video. Your video was great. I love the editing.
Well,
you cut me off a lot when I was going to say something.
Oh, you mean in the clips?
Yeah, the clips of what I'm going to say. Like the whole me thinking I could bring anyone up. I never said I can bring anyone up and make them great. Well, I mentioned ASJ.
Yeah.
I was more talking about the originals because the originals has the biggest potential, in my opinion, right? Mm-hmm. And Austin being the leader, right? The original leader, if he would have listened to Jason theory or followed or emulated, whatever you want to say, I think he would have been in a better situation than he is now.
What she's trying to say is if he would have followed JDF, he wouldn't have been doing PPP fraud. That's all she's trying to say.
Yeah. And
that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
And I completely agree with you on that. I do. The thing is, like, I guess I should rephrase it to not necessarily a lie, but I feel like there's things that are left out. And then one of the things which you brought up, which I was kind of surprised that this was something you brought up. I didn't even think about this, or out of all the things I thought, I was surprised, like, oh, this is the thing she brought up, was the Mighty Morphin Life thing. Because like you commented and said that a lot of the things I have are incorrect. And so I said, okay, I would be happy to hear, I don't remember how I worded, but I said something like, I'd be happy to hear what they are. Mm-hmm. You didn't respond.
Ooh.
You commented on another person's thing and said that he has the timeline all wrong. And I said, I would love to know what the problem is with the timeline.
Okay. Oh, sweetie.
And then
I was going to do a video responding to your thing. So I didn't want to answer in the comments when I was going to do it.
Because then you said that My Morphin Life was filmed in 2013. And so I looked at it, I'm like, okay, I don't, honestly, by the stuff, I don't know when each episode was filmed, but okay, they're all filmed in 2013. I will say that what confused me is that he also started doing My Morphin Life vlog or My Morphin Vlogs. So and the thing is, I thought, what are you talking about? Because the first thing I remember is, like, I remember watching the episode where he goes and does the cameo for the 2017 movie. Yeah, I remember that. But that was My Morphin Vlog.
Yeah. So season 1, the timeline, right? You were talking about 2014. Mm-hmm. Season 1 of My Morphin Life, what Jason paid for and did himself, that was Jason's, right?
Right.
Season 2 of My Morphin Life was picked up by something called ConTV, which was made by Wizard World. And they, obviously paid for everything. So there's 2 different things. And then there's actually 3. Then there's My Morphin Vlog, right?
Right.
So after ConTV and everything, they split, then he was doing My Morphin Vlog, right? Mm-hmm. Which was also filmed by him. He funded it. It was more of him bringing people to his life, like bringing into, like, seeing things and him, doing his silly thing. I know there's like a silly video of him and Jake and, oh my God, I was going to mention that thing. And Johnny Young Bosch. But what I'm saying is, like, what you said was, your opinion, like, oh, he was doing he wanted the free event for publicity for My Morphin Life. And I was like, no, that's not right, because My Morphin Life, that season was already filmed. But that had nothing to do with it.
Okay. So
we got to keep it moving, guys. All right.
Well, I do. I do want to go, because there's more to it. So I asked you, I said, okay, so I apologize. My Morphin, like what we just said, but then you said, well, some of the episodes were filmed later. And I said, when were they filmed? And you said, I think 2017, 2018.
That's season 2 and 3. Mm-hmm.
But those seasons aired before 2018 and 2000. Well, some of them, the season 2 aired in 2015, and the third season was in 2016. So they couldn't have filmed it in 17 and 18.
Well, I was probably off, but season 2, what I'm saying is season 1 was free. Season 2 and 3 were paid for by ConTV. And then My Morphin Vlog was later. I think the My Morphin Vlog did the movie, 2017, 2018. Okay. The cameo of the movie.
Okay.
So that's totally different. and they also did the Ninja Steel. I don't know what Ninja Steel. I didn't watch these things. Ninja Steel. He did like the behind the scenes of Ninja Steel, but that was all after. My main point was season 1 that you're like, well, he wanted it for publicity of a show, but season 1 was already filmed. And
but I just meant for his show in general as it was going on. So I mean, and listen, I hope like I don't think Jason David Frank was a monster. I really don't. I hope, like, I tried to make a point of saying all the great things he did because he really did. I think, as you said, he did free events and like that'll pay off in the long run. So when it's kind of when things are phrased in a way that's like he wanted to do something free and all these people wanted money and like that's like terrible that they were so greedy. As it's like, well, he was going to benefit from it too.
No, of course.
So that's kind of my point. It would be
idiotic if you guys thought that he wasn't going to. But my thing is, in your video, you're saying that Henry and I are the reason why the beef keeps going. And now when you're on his stream, you're saying, well, I'm gonna X you out, Henry, and just throw me under the bus, right? But which is fine, because I don't know if I've made it clear enough. I don't care if people like me or not, right?
Right.
And I don't care because I know what I've lived. I know behind the scenes things that you guys don't know about, right? And that I haven't released or I won't release, or it's things that I've experienced myself, right? When you mention like, oh, the beef is continued by Henry and Francis, well, now you're saying just me. You guys have to remember, I'm human, right? I am Jason's friend, not only his assistant or whatever. I was also his friend. So if someone messes with my friend, or I've seen things were done to my friend, or, that I don't like, I'm not going to like that person. If I don't like Austin, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to censor myself because I'm supposed to be Jason's assistant and censor myself and not say it because I was Jason's assistant. There are things that Austin has done throughout my knowing Jason that to me were bad or wrong or made me not like him. And there's things that he did after Jason's passing that I'm not going to say quiet, like the Hitler quotes, like the mocking of the gay people, like the PPP, like all the lies. Because in your video, you say, well, he only lied when he's 18. He's lied when he's a grown man, 30, 40, 50, whatever how old he is now. He's lied. He continues to lie. And there's so many, and Henry has so many clips of lying that it's almost like, why should I show grace to a man that didn't show grace to my friend? So I'm not a reporter. I've never said that I was not going to be biased. I am biased towards Jason because I am Team JDF for life. I knew Jason personally. I saw a lot of the behind the scene things. I witnessed a lot of the behind the scene things. So for someone to be like, well, I'm keeping the beef alive when I'm not even talking about the past. If I'm talking about the current events that Austin himself, that are coming out of his mouth, that are coming out of his actions, that's not keeping the beef going. That's me saying, hey, like, this man to me has this XYZ is bad or is wrong. That could be about Austin, that could be about Walter, that could be about Karen. I'm gonna say it because I'm not going to censor myself because of who I work with or who my friend is, right? And for you to say that I am keeping the beef or Henry's keeping the beef, well, so is Austin by saying Jason's a jerk after he passed. So is Zach McGinnis, who's related to Austin, by saying he's glad Jason's dead and then making a fake apology saying, well, I might do it again. So
he did say that.
The beef is not...
Zach did?
Yeah, he said he might do it again. He said he might
do it again. And so basically the beef is not, and I've always said this, and I think you could look it up. I said the beef was kept alive more by the fans, right? Always. Because, there was a lot of times that Jason reached out to Austin and tried to mend things, and they never mended things. Jason passed away, right? Jason passed away, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that because Jason passed away, if Austin continues, because you're like, show Austin grace. Well, Austin needs to actually feel like he messed up and feel sorry for what he did. By you saying, I'm bringing up quote t-shirts, and then blocking everyone that's like, yo, this is wrong, dude. Then you're not being apologetic. You're not feeling sorry. You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry that people were outraged. If you mock gay people and people are going on your page and like, yo, that's wrong, and you're blocking them and censoring them and just having an echo chamber on your page, then that's wrong. Because I'm not going to stay quiet and be like, well, let me show him some grace, when obviously he's not being held accountable, because so many people want grace, to give him grace, or be like, he was the leader, he was Jason Lee Scott or Scott Lee, what, I don't remember, Jason Lee Scott, let's give him some grace. That's not right, because no one learns from mistakes if they continue to do it.
All right, great.
If you're a liar and you continue to lie, you're not learning from your lies.
Okay, let me
let my man get some clock, okay? Because you was going on and shit. Go ahead.
No, and I have no. I think we've created enough of like, I don't hate you by any means, and I hope you see that. No, my question is, what is the outcome that you want to have happen throughout all this, bringing up all these things and talking about them? What do you want to? If you could pick, I want this to happen. What is it
for me? I just want fans to be aware of it. I just want fans to be aware. That's it. I just want to spread awareness. Okay. What they do is what they do.
Okay.
You will never hear me say, or even Henry say, don't be a ASJ fan.
I never said it.
Because I've never said that. Okay. I am going to say what I feel, what I've experienced, if I don't like him or not. I even said a story where he was very nice to me and all that. But if you do something nice with one hand, but then you do 10 bad things with the other hand, it doesn't, you know what I mean? I'm not going to negate every bad thing you've done because you were nice to me once, or you did something heroic or nice, whatever you want to call it. My thing is, my platform is for me to vent.
Okay.
I have friends that are Austin fans, and I'm not like, don't be his fan. I'll just be like, and I don't be like, oh my gosh, shame on you to be Austin's fan. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I'm not a fan.
I hear you.
Look, he only got a limited amount of time, and Francis ate all up. I'm trying to, I know he got kids, and I think the wife is like tending to the kids.
You know what? She got so sick today that she's like, I'm just going straight to bed. I'm like, that's perfect.
Feels better.
Okay, anyway.
Feels better.
Thanks. Thanks.
We got some super chats, and I do want like fans to pose questions to Mighty Morphin for the next like 10 minutes. We still got some more stuff to cover with ASJ, because Mighty Morphin conspiracy theory is not me, guys. He is not familiar with every clip that I didn't uploaded.
No.
He probably don't know about Austin St. John beating up the 3 black guys at the gas station and saving the girl from getting kidnapped. You heard that story?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So did you hear the Twee Trang Boner story for his tribute?
I have not. I have not heard that. Here's I'm not saying this as like it's okay, but I've heard him say a lot of things about Twee in a very like I think he had a huge crush on Twee.
Oh, it's
like
always sexualized. Huge
crush. Well, I've heard some clips where he was actually pretty like respectful, just like saying that he's like, oh, I wish I could have dated her, but we were always working. Like,
okay.
And so, I mean, I'm not saying he has anything wrong. I just mean I've heard
a story in a tribute video.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't.
All right. We'll show you that to you before you get out of here, man. I do got some super chats. Guys, I appreciate Mighty Morphin Conspiracy coming over here getting chastised by Francis. She just going in like, I'm like, Francis, can the man talk? Okay. Can he get a word in? She like, no, I'm not a liar. Say that shit now. She going on that tangent. But Matt Fisher, who has a crush on Francis, he said, Francis, you're looking good in those goddamn glasses. You finer than a parking ticket.
Henry hates these
parking ticket. What's that?
I don't know what
Sorry, maybe I just
my man. He does
ticket?
Uber, so he might get parking tickets. Pirate Bell says she loves you, Francis. But anywho, how about us together? Let's do a palate cleanse where we watch the Boner story. Is that okay? I know we got some people in the back who want to rip your head off, Mighty Morphin. I'm going to keep him at bay for now.
That's all right.
He's good. He's here. Like everyone that wants to, like, he's here. And I was reaming him, and I'm like, nah. He didn't back down. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the Boner story, guys. This is where Austin St. John. This is a deleted tribute when he came back and he was mature. Mighty Morphin, because he was mature, he was old. So we have that going for him. But this is how he remembered Twee. Now, this has since been deleted, but thank you to my man right here for reacting to it, because if he wouldn't, it'd just be in the wayside.
It's an amazing co-star that we had. Her name was Twee Trang. She played Trini, the Yellow Ranger. I'm not going to talk about her death too much because I want to stay on the positive side. So many incredible things that are just too wonderful not to discuss rather than the fact that she was killed in a car accident. The stuff you don't know. You know, she was beautiful, silky.
I'm telling you guys, I don't endorse what he's about to say. I just want to put that out there. Just want to let you know. And by he, I mean Austin St. John.
Man. Asian descent, buttermilk skin.
To be honest, she was my crush.
This brother was starving
during my childhood. I did not become a fan of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers until 2002.
Yeah, that brother.
When ABC Family used to play these Spider-Man, X-Men cartoons, and then I used to always wait for the Power Rangers TV show to come on, and Mighty Morphin was.
Now, fun thing about this guy, sometimes he is in the chat, guys.
My favorite at the time. You know, I don't like it how I used to right now, but it's still close to my heart. But Trini was my favorite Yellow Ranger, and she was my crush.
Okay, Ninja, get to it.
Sorry, Kimberly, but Trini is my favorite crush. Sorry.
And not just on the outside, but on the inside. She truly had this spirit. That is not to say that she wasn't mischievous and at times devious, known to participate in pranks and never get caught because she naturally looked so innocent. For instance, in the command center where we shot early, here we are wearing, you know, these thin layer spandex suits, and the air conditioner in that room was at sub-zero, and we're wearing next to no clothes. In between shots, we used to sit in the little command center, and I would usually lean up against the counter, freezing my butt off, and the girls, or Tweet would come over, and she just kind of lean in, and we would wrap up and trying to stay warm. Well, I was an 18-year-old boy, and she was gorgeous. So once or twice, I may have had a reaction that I truly could not control. I'm struggling for self-control. She's trying to pretend that she doesn't notice. Then I realize she's got a devious side. She's like, oh, I'm so cold. And then I would notice that maybe just her booty would wiggle a little.
Trying to flirt with you and stuff. Me should have got her number after that.
She was great about it.
All right. There's the Boner Story tribute video that has now since been deleted. I know somebody was trying to black pill you in the comments section about some of this story about the Boner tribute.
Yeah.
So if someone brings it up, now you've seen the whole. What are your thoughts, Mighty Morphin? What are your thoughts?
I mean, people, I don't know. That's hard because there's a lot of people who are going to be like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not telling that story myself, you know.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I mean, it's a weird thing to share publicly, you know.
Well, when Frances passes, I'm not going to share how she used to get me bricked up on them private calls or anything like that. I don't know what she's saying.
Stop my spot.
Oh, okay. She was muting.
I mean, to be honest, that's the type of story that's like, you know, two guys just shooting the shit on their own. Sorry. Yeah, just two guys talking. It's like, I understand that story. Like, you know, I've told stories before, like that after I've told them, like, I don't think I'm ever going to tell that again. You know, like,
would you do it? But would you do it in a tribute video?
No.
Come on.
No.
Thank
and
you.
that's, yeah.
Okay. We got some super chats that come in. Shout out to Laura said, you need to apologize to Frances.
Frances, I do not hate you. I think you're a very nice person. I think that all I really mean is that I think some of the ways things were said kind of imply certain things. Again, but on paper,
lies.
No, because it's the things that aren't said.
He's not saying that I'm lying. He just says that I'm lying.
So yeah, but it's the things that aren't said that I'm kind of like, yeah, you know, I feel like there's some information, or just the fact of like, you know, saying, hey, this isn't really an uncommon thing for them to take like a guarantee. Just he disagreed with them on that. Like that's more. So I will say this. I apologize for saying you lied because you didn't say anything that was a direct lie.
Thank you.
It's been great.
We got him, guys. We got him. He gave him an Aaron treatment.
But I just think that there's things that's like there's implications to me and
I
some
get
things
it, right?
that I really don't try to say like, I know people think like, well, you just like, I really don't. I don't have like a love of ASJ. The only reason I put out the video is because I just felt like a lot of negativity has gone his way, and to kind of compare, like some people kind of get into that thing where like, oh man, he was just such a problem, and like Jason just like he always had to deal with this crappy guy. It's like, well, let's look at it as like they're both like young teenagers And that's when the beef started. I'm not saying he hasn't done anything wrong since, but it's like, that's why I want to speculate on, because it's like, there's people in high school I didn't get along with either. And actually doing this video has made me really think about some of those people I still have like kind of a grudge on. And it's like, maybe I need to let that go because, we were in high school. We made mistakes. We did stupid things, said stupid things, and I come from a line of people who we tell stories, and every time we tell the story, the numbers get larger every single time. So maybe I have some sort of understanding of like someone who exaggerates a story, because it's always, we caught like 3 fish that day. The next day it's like, we caught 4 fish that day. And then the next time you tell like, we caught like 5 fish that day.
Yeah, but those are like little fibs that are understandable. But you're saying that your girlfriend was grabbed by 4 hoodlums with irons and tire irons, and you flipped through the window. They threw her through the window, and her dress was broken. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we about to listen to that story.
Too much. Or like you saying you're the owner of a 900-year katana and you're 40. You know what I mean? That's not like a white lie that you're just being like, hey, I caught 5 fishes. You know what I mean? 5 fish today.
Okay.
It's much.
All right. So one more super chats came in. Someone, Red Bunny Classic said,
City girls are down
for talking tonight. Aqua Blast said, Brent brings up so much crap. Oh my goodness. And shout out to my brother from another. Chanzo said, even if Francis, who I love, does imply certain things, she's earned that right. She's seen and heard things we will never be privy to. Much love. I thought you only like white women, Chanzo. What's going on, man? But anyway, thank you for the super chat. But let's black pill him on one more thing, and then we're gonna let you get out of here. Is that cool, Casey? All right. So here is the story. Here's the story.
Get your money up.
Sorry guys. Here's the story of ASJ whooping on 3 black kids, or people who didn't who didn't look like him per se. Where is my Jesus? All right. So here go right here. And people in the back, I'm gonna bring you up after Casey go down. So I know everyone want to kick in Casey back, but it's done. And AJ1207, thank you for your donation. I appreciate the 99 cents, brother. I appreciate it. So let's hear Austin St. John tell this heroic feat with there is no concrete proof of. I think Francis left. So it's just me and you now. What you think of Francis? She a piece of shit, ain't you? I know. I'm joking. I'm joking. We love Francis over here, but sometimes she be having to step out. Yeah, I'm saying we got David Yo's baby mama in the back. I see my man Matthew Egan in the back. We gonna watch this and then we're gonna let you get out of here. If you guys got questions for him, post them.
I was dating a very cute little blonde. I took a wrong turn in LA, ended up on a bad part of town, and I went into the store to get directions. It was 7-Eleven, and all of a sudden, the guy at the counter is looking over my shoulder, and his eyes got real big, and I turn around, and a van had pulled in next to my car, and they busted out the window with a tire iron, and they were dragging my girlfriend out through the window, and they were going to drag her into a van. And there was 4 guys. I don't remember getting to the door. I remember going through it, and I remember guys swinging tire irons and chains at me, and I cleaned them up hardcore. And in the end, I was white, they were not, so naturally they tried to sue me because I was white. And thank goodness for the videotapes, because the courts all saw that I was attacked. They came after me, and the fact that they weren't white didn't matter. And needless to say, my girlfriend had deep cuts all the way down to her back, cut through her dress where they drug her through the window. And it was a bad day. But that was the first time I'd had to use it in school when kids jumped me, but that was the first time I'd ever had to use it in a situation where I was truly worried for someone other than myself.
All right, there's the story. I'm sure very believable. They're probably gonna make a movie on it at some point, because his life has just been so interesting, man. But any thoughts on the story?
I mean, I think, I don't know. I mean, the thing with me is I'm not saying it's true. I don't know what to believe, though. It's like, is there some, I don't know. It's like, I mean, again, I come from the line of people who exaggerate their stories. So it's like, were they outside doing something and some guys kind of came up to him and started like saying things to him. And then the next time he told the story, it's like, well, we were in our car, and then they like pulled us out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, so I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like, maybe there's some shred of truth within it, but I have a feeling, it's probably not all true, of course. But I don't know. It's hard to say, because I don't like just completely dismissing it, because that's just my opinion. If I'm just like, well, that's not true. So, because who knows? I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
It's not.
All right. Well, any last words, man? We appreciate you coming up. You got chastised by Frances and she just bowed out. She ran.
She ran away. She knew I was coming. No, dude, I mean, it's just, I hope, I mean, I understand people just want, like, it's fun to, you know, kind of go off on this stuff and do things. But I mean, really the whole point of the video was just like, if people feel like he doesn't deserve grace, okay, that's fine. The way I live my life, like I know in some of those things, you know, Jason David Frank said stuff like, you know, as a martial artist, you live your life a certain way and all that stuff. And I know that Jason David Frank was like a man of faith and was a Christian. And I'm also a Christian. And so for me, I don't think anything Austin St. John has lied about or said or done wrong is okay. And I hope that shows in the video, because I never once said like, good thing he did that tax fraud. Like, I'm glad he did it. Screw the guy. Like, I never said anything like that. I find that maybe showing some grace towards him, you know, like I said, the government will take care of the charges. That's going to happen. You know, he's going to get punished for it. And I think if you do believe in a higher power, or you believe in God, you know that at the end of the day, you don't have to be the one to, you know, tear them apart or be the one to bring them down, because that's going to happen in its own time. You know, they'll shoot themselves in the foot, so to say. But that's why I just threw it out there. It's like, you know, I'm not saying I agree with him, but I just think that I'm going to try to give him grace for things he's done that he shouldn't have done. Because in the end, he's not perfect. In the end, Jason David Frank was definitely not perfect either. So, you know, if we can give Jason David Frank the grace, which everybody seems to be very okay with that and happy to do, why can't we do it for him as well? And I understand some people may not think he can have grace, but that was kind of my whole point of it.
No grace for you, Austin St. John. I hope they lock you up for a long time. I know you watch it. So, all right. Well, look, man, I appreciate you coming up, man, and dealing with all this BS, all this chastising. We gonna be watching you. We gonna be watching that description. We gonna be watching that to make sure you change it. But
I'll change it.
I don't care, man. But
any
questions you got for me or anything you want to get off your chest?
No, I don't know. Okay, there's one thing I will bring up is this. And I don't know if can I just send you this clip in the chat here?
I know you got to send it to me via email. I got my email.
Via email.
Yeah, let's look at I love that he got clips. I told him I was like, bring the goddamn clips, goddamn it. He was like, all right. No,
I only really have I had some other ones, but the only one I really have is this one. And I sent it to you.
It ain't no problem.
I time stamped it, so it should be right at the right time. If it doesn't, tell me.
All right, let's open my email, guys.
Remember, and I want to quickly say this. I didn't know Francis was leaving, so I wasn't like waiting till Francis left to play this. Okay. I was like, so.
Oh, snap. He got you, Francis.
Clothing line.
It's not timestamped.
It's not. Oh, okay, 206. 206.
All right, so here's the video here about to kick your back in, Francis. 206. Now, look, guys, I got to be entertainment at the end of the day. All right, we'll start it at 2 minutes just to give it a 5-second buffer. So let's go. Here's the clip, Francis. Oh, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. I'm over here showing way too much of my email for a clever person.
Oh, sorry.
For a clever person, they may figure that out. All right.
Like,
there we go. Now I'm like, oh, I'm playing it from my email or whatever. I don't need y'all seeing who be up in there trying to throw me their panties. All right. Anyway, let's go.
I think if Germany can wipe everyone's memory and erase that part of history, they probably would, right? My issue with that is that why was it the first person you mentioned? Like, mention what the guy from Russia, what's his name? Oh my God, Stalin. Like, mention anyone else. Mention even the South Korea guy, Kim Jong-un, like somebody. But the H guy, come on, like, it's just, to me, well, I'm not surprised, I guess.
Considering who he hangs around, huh?
You know, and
that's all I really want to play. But my only thing is, dude, Stalin killed what was it, like 6 million people?
Yeah, he killed a lot. Yeah.
So now I know I'm not like, I don't want to go, well, let's all just attack Francis and like put her on. Oh man, let's like she's effing done, man. Like, no, I don't want to do that. But it's like, I think we all say things that are dumb on occasion, saying that why didn't he say Stalin, who killed 6 million people? Like, oh, a funny dictator. Let's just pick one of those. Like,
here's the thing. Or right? Let me defend her.
Go ahead.
The reason why there's people don't see Stalin as bad as Hitler is because Hitler's rhetoric is still prevalent today. That's probably why he may have not as killed as many, but it's the idea and what he was trying to promote that's still prevalent in the community. Even Candace Owens just got demonetized for her comments. I'm not gonna say she supports Hitler, but obviously some people think that she was close to it. I'll just say that.
Well, and again, I have no wish of like, let's destroy Francis or anything like that. But, Stalin was not like a good person. So to say like, why did you just pick Stalin or any of that? It's just crazy. Maybe 6 million. Okay.
Yeah. 6 million.
But, and she mentioned like the Kim Jong-un family and like they're horrific people killed. They actually can't really figure out the exact number because North Korea's closed off, but they know that there were, I think, what was it? 710,000 people were killed, but they think it was more like 3.5 million, but they can't tell.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the information. And so that's kind of like with the Hitler stuff. Not a good idea. But it's like, we got to be careful because it's like you kind of turn around and it's like, then you say something that's kind of just as ignorant, as saying Hitler had good quotes. It's like, why didn't you just pick this guy who was a horrible person who killed tons and tons of people? And so that was my only point. Again, I wasn't waiting till Francis got off to put that. I had it, but then she
became a coward. Don't worry.
But again, I don't want to hate anybody on that. It's like, we all say dumb things. We all say stupid things that we didn't understand were probably wrong, okay. But
all right. Well, look, man, whatever you need in the future, if you need anything, let me know, man.
It was really a pleasure talking to you. Seriously, man.
What did you think it was going to be like? Did you think it was going to be like worse than this?
I am a prepare for the worst type of person. But that's not because I think bad of you. It's just like I got to make sure I'm ready. I don't know. I know, dude. I've seen people like I know they're coming for me. I got it.
Yeah, they still gonna come. Look, guys.
But
sorry, you're right. Don't come. Do not come.
Do you say if you don't like Kamala Harris?
No, like Kamala Harris was like, do not come. Do not come.
Oh, okay. No, and again, like I think I started saying this at the beginning, but it's like I'm so amazed because my intention was, let's just kind of give a little bit of insight to this. And I've had some people like, dude, I really appreciate your video because I feel like you kind of aired out some things that didn't have yet to been aired out. And then, I have the people who are like, yeah, man, Austin St. John for life. And I'm like, yeah, not really the point. And then other people who are like, you're the worst person in the world. Like, how could you ever slander Jason David Frank? And it's like, I'm not trying to slander. I'm just trying to maybe give a different angle on the idea. But
thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
All right. Yep. That is. I'm a cult leader. I'm not a good person, man. So I gotta let you know.
Whenever you move to your own island, you let me know.
All right. I'm recruiting. All right, guys. That was Mighty Morphin Conspiracy Theories. Stepped up in the goddamn lion's den. Held his own. Backtracked on a couple things, and all in all, I'm happy with the response. And shout out to AJ 1207. JDF didn't lie or scam people out of money. That's a truthful statement.